Well, the basis of a whole food plant-based diet is that you build all of your meals around predominantly, so there's many different colourful veg. So I always say fill half of the plate, 45% of the plate with vegetables, and lots of different colours, particularly the red, orange and the yellow vegetables, because they are extra important. And also to leave that little slither, that 5% for healthy fats, because I think a lot of women are scared of eating healthy fats. So saturated and trans fats have been associated with poorer fertility outcomes in both sexes, whereas unsaturated fats, so things like avocado, extra virgin olive oil, nuts, seeds, predominantly unsaturated fats, are associated with better outcomes. And especially for men, omega-3s are really, really important for sperm health. But a lot of people think you have to take fish oils to get omega-3, but the fish get their omega-3 from algae, and it's the accumulative effect of them eating the algae. So what we advise is to cut out the middleman and just go straight for the algae supplement instead, because it's better. You're not ingesting the toxins and pollutants and microplastics that are now unfortunately in our oceans and seas. And then quarter of your plate with whole grain carbohydrates, and they're also very, very important. Low carb diets, no, completely out of the window when it comes to fertility. That's the worst thing you can do. You need plenty of fiber. They're packed with vitamins, minerals, all kinds of essential nutrients in the diet. So as many different whole grains as you can eat. And I love experimenting with different whole grains, because before I turned plant-based, I didn't realize how many are out there, and I think before I used to stick to pasta and rice, and that was about it. But there are so many. There's frikeh and couscous and spelt and oats, and there's so many grains that you can try. And then a quarter of the plate with minimally processed protein. So soy is a brilliant addition to the diet, and I always advise 2 servings a day of soy. So that would be 80 grams of tofu or tempeh or edamame beans, 200 mils of soy milk, or a portion of yogurt's 125 grams. So soy is really important. There's a lot of myths about soy. All of them are untrue. It's really beneficial for health, for women, for men. It doesn't feminize men. And it's protective against certain cancers, and the earlier the introduction, the better. So if you have plant-based children as well, then giving them soy is really beneficial. So that's pretty much the composition of the plate. That's one of the myths, that you shouldn't be having soy if you have a history of breast cancer, or that it can cause breast cancer. But actually the receptors that the phytoestrogens in the soy attach to are different to the receptors that estrogens attach to. So whereas estrogens have an almost switch on effect to cancer cells, the phytoestrogens have a switch off effect. So it's protective against breast cancer. The low carbohydrate diet is women with polycystic ovaries are often advised to follow a low carb diet because of the increased risk of insulin resistance in those women. But actually, the fiber is super important for the excess hormones. And if you don't have enough fiber in your gut, those hormones can't bind with the fiber and get removed in your stool. They just carry on recirculating. So fiber is very important. So definitely low carb diets. There are so many myths out there and dangerous dietary advice. Another one is that you should be having lots of coconut oil in your diet, whereas coconut oil is so high in saturated fat, it's higher than lard. So to have a lot of coconut oil in your diet is not going to do your health any good at all. And it's definitely not a good thing to have for fertility because of the negative effects on male and female fertility. Water cleanses as well, I've heard of when people are trying to conceive, and that's just does not make any sense at all, because you're not nourishing your body with the food and the nutrients you need. You're pretty much starving it, which is not going to help in any way. The ketogenic diet is very high in saturated fat, high in animal protein, and this is the thing when low carb diets are advised. The alternative is, well, I must eat more meat and more animal protein because you need that to fill up. But actually, that's associated with poorer fertility outcomes, because in brief, I won't go too much into the science, but there are things called ages in animal products, and especially in dry cooked meats, and they are very inflammatory in the body. They can attach to the ovarian follicles and cause early ovarian aging. They can attach to the uterus and prevent the egg from implanting, and that's been shown in overweight women because they cause this inflammatory cascade. And they have, women with polycystic ovaries have higher circulating levels of these ages as well. So ketogenic diet, no.